Did you know Dump City is the name of a book being planned by a secret organization which is currently writing Brento's autobiography for him? What? Anyways, I've now matched my previous best SSF results here. I've reached level 93. It's amazing. Okay. I think I'm going to make it to 95. Dying is a little rarer now because my character's built better and I know a bit more about what I'm doing in my third season here. And check out this new skill I've put on here too. It's a combination of auto exertion and General's War Cry. See, this auto exerts a war cry. So what this General's War Cry does is it summons some of the corpses, and then if I have an attached spell with it, or an attack, sorry, the corpses will then attack them once and then despawn. So this is getting to be more efficient. But you're not here to watch me clown around with corpses and leap slams and stunning monsters. Well, you will later, actually. You're here to see what's on the show. And what's on the show? We're going to go over Syndicate Basics today. I'm going to talk about a prediction of which pro sport league will have android athletes first. Eventually we're going to see this happen, and I'll go into details of where I think we'll see androids in a pro sport league first. And then finally we're going to do some Syndicate Examples and do a Safehouse run just to show you how it works. But before we do that, let's have a look at the item of the week. That's these boots. Aren't those crazy? That's ridiculous. There's pros watching this going, wow, I'm a little bit jealous of those boots. Those are very nice boots. And then this belt here, look at it too. This is the runner-up, okay? Not quite as amazing, but still pretty good. Look at the life regen. Look how much life the implicit has, 42 life. That's pretty good, right, for a leather belt. You'll notice it's got a catalyst on it. That's what catalysts do. They enhance some of the modifiers. So be sure to put those on your jewelry, especially if you have some surplus on a really good item. Okay, so that's the item of the week. But before we get into Syndicate and how to play this efficiently, let's do more tips for noobs. So in my first season, I leached XP from top gamers in a trade league. Okay, so this actually gained me 2 levels. So if you're near your level cap and you're in a trade league, try to join one of them and just leech some XP. Okay, if you're an SSF, I recall the breach mechanic being the one that I was leeching on the most. So perhaps that's the best value in terms of getting XP per minute. And also note, if you do leech in a group, be appreciative. Don't be a jerk. This is to be fun. No one owes you anything. If they're nice enough to let you in the group, be thankful. If the party's not full, you're actually helping them juice up the map a bit. So also don't shy away from joining them, even if you don't have much to give them. But if you can, usually it's nice to give them some sort of tip. You know, maybe something that a currency you don't know what to do with. You know, maybe not a bunch of divines if that's all you got, but you know, it's something. If you find a divine on the ground, maybe just say, hey, I found this on the ground or something in that map, right? See these here? Don't let your season end without your free crafted mod for each of your maps. I'm waiting till my maps get higher level before I get my freebie on all of them, but don't let those waste, okay? That's what they do. Once you use it, you have to start paying chaos orbs usually to get the crafted mod. So be aware, you can juice up your maps for free once on your map, and it is a freebie. If you find your content is too rippy, like for example, I threw in this Beyond mechanic. I'm not familiar with how any of these. I don't know how Beyond works. Okay, it's spawning new monsters. It looks like, and they are nasty. And I'm thinking of taking it out. Like I don't know if the rewards are much better. It's giving me some influenced items, but I wouldn't say this mechanic. I'm thinking of going around this Beyond stuff. Demonic power? That can't be good. If you find certain mechanics are hurting you a lot and you're dying a lot, just take them out, right? That's kind of the idea of having these atlases that you can customize them. Yeah, unspend the point and then go another route so you don't die as much. So yeah, that's more tips for noobs. But before we get too into doing some syndicate maps here, I want to go over the basics, okay? So why would you do Immortal Syndicate? The main reason is it gives you access to powerful veiled crafting mods. Kind of guaranteed a tier 1 mod on an item. That's why you do it. You can get currency and various other abilities in the Safehouse as well. But in general, it's the veiled items. It's just the really good items that drop. You'll notice that June here, show investigation. Each encounter you do adds research to the location of a safe house. These are the 4 safe houses. I have one unlocked here, and I can continue to research unlocking other ones while this one remains unlocked. Okay. Higher ranking members grant better rewards, but also get tougher. So see these stars here? You might want to be careful about leveling too many of them too high, because it just might become a too difficult mechanic. Better rewards can also mean faster intelligence. So getting higher ranked members is a priority. Okay, I recall seeing a video a long time ago where they just said every priority is add intelligence. I'd say no, that's not the highest priority. Or the highest priority is to gain ranks of useful members. As you promote and demote members, lines of trust are formed. You see, I have these some red lines and some green lines. Basically, it increases the odds of them sticking together. So let's say you have like Eiling here. I don't know if that's how you Eisling. She basically is a really good person to have in your crew. You want her to be friends with other good people to have in your crew, but don't become friends with people that are not so useful, if possible. So that's how trust works. It just sort of ensures that the right people are going to show up in the right place, and it's all governed by having the good quality members being associated with other good quality members. Each division, see there's the 4 divisions here: transportation, fortification, research, intervention. There's 5 members that can actually show up for each one of these safe houses once you get to the max intelligence here. Okay, this one's almost ready to go at fortification. Once you unlock it, you basically go to the safe house and you get some reward. When you're doing this, be sure to have Atlas points that make it a little easier. So I'll just go over a few here. Again, these will change season to season, but here's some that I have set up. I'm improving the odds of June just showing up. Pretty much every map I do has June in it right now with these specializations. You'll also want to have this here, like if each division has a leader, and the leader is going to be the highest ranking with the most stars in it. And here you get some more deals with bargain. Okay, I actually got 8 veiled items once. I am assuming this bribery was part of it, right? So this is a good one to have. Here's a couple more. Pillage and plunder. Test of loyalty. Okay, that's good. You want to rank up faster. And here there's a very nice one here. Lethal extraction. You're just gaining intelligence faster. So these are the kind of skill points I would, invest in. You got to do a search on Betrayal on your current atlas to see where these are. These might not be the same in the season you're watching. They could be located on the other side of the map. But that's when Immortal Syndicate got released in a release called Betrayal. So that's another thing I didn't know about until a season or 2 later, that Betrayal and the Syndicate are the same thing. So once you achieve 100% intelligence in a division, you can raid one of the safe houses by talking to June. The level of the safe house will be equal to the highest level Syndicate member, and everyone in that division will defend it. Once you execute the safe house leader, the members in it will offer a specific bonus in the living quarters, okay, up to 5 rewards. Each reward is specific to the member chosen for that division, and the link below has a broad explanation of all the rewards each member has in each safe house. It's a very complicated thing, and part of the reason I'm making this video is like once you see the wiki on this, you'll realize just watching this video is going to be way more efficient, way better use of your time. But it's, you want to have it there as a reference because there are some exceptions. Some of the rewards you can get in the Safehouse include exclusive veiled uniques. Each time you clear the Safehouse, you can earn a map fragment to unlock the Mastermind encounter. So you might have noticed that too, that there's that hidden room at the very top. You unlock that by getting the fragments by finishing the Safehouses. And of course, the Mastermind encounter is another high level, high difficulty, high reward kind of option. And again, it might vary season to season. Maybe it's overpowered one season, maybe it's been nerfed the next. So just keep that in mind. That's how you access the Mastermind encounter. When you're doing the Syndicate, you have choices to make. You'll see here, I got some members here, like here's Janice, okay? There are 3 options here. Okay, so you have to decide what to do here. In general, the priority is you want to rank up key members as the top priority. We'll talk about that in the second half of this video, who the key members are. It's actually, I'll include it in the comments too, I'll include it in the description later. So in general, you want to level up key members as the top priority. Higher level members offer better bargains, including faster intelligence points. Higher level members also give a better reward in the Safehouse. But just be careful, a level 3 member can be tough to kill. If there are no useful members, usually gathering intelligence is your best priority here. So what I'm going to do for this one here, Janice is not on my list of members I want to be ranking up. Okay, I'll explain later why that is. So what I'm going to do is just interrogate them. Okay, there was no useful member to rank up. So the next most useful thing was to interrogate, gain intelligence. Okay, there's other ways to gain intelligence, but interrogating is the most common one. Sometimes they'll bargain for intelligence. Occasionally, you'll have an option to make or break trusts between members. You typically want to trust useful members and distrust the not so useful ones. That's something I wish someone would have explained earlier in previous videos I've seen. It's all about the useful members, really. The option will occasionally randomize their locations, so the key is to have useful members whose benefits are good in multiple divisions. What makes good members are members whose ability you can use in any of the 4 divisions. That's why they're good. A less useful member is going to be someone who's only good in one division, and some of them I don't think are useful in any divisions at all. Get the ones that have broad options, okay? Aisling here has 3 divisions, for example, she can be good in. So this is why you always want her high ranking. The Safehouses are getting close to open here. So you will rarely release a member, but both these have no effect essentially on this particular example. I'm just going to execute because it doesn't really matter, okay? Because she's where she needs to be, and I don't want her to be losing ranks just before it opens up. Removing useless members from the Syndicate will ultimately ensure a higher probability of useful members spawning. So the actual useful rooms are transportation, fortification, and research. These are the ones that have so many modifiers that are useful that these are your goals. In general, I don't even care if the intervention one has no one in it. It's just happened to be getting offered this intelligence over and over. So it's unlocked it for me. But these are going to be your 3 targeted rooms. And you want to have members that have good abilities in all 3 of these max rank. That's the general strategy of what you're trying to do here. But before we go over a few examples, we have to have a message from our sponsor, which is Dump City. The first major sport to have android athletes. Okay? Which sport do you think it's going to be? You think it's going to be football? Do you think it'll be basketball? No. And there's going to be rules to these androids. They have to be like within, there'll be weight and height and all kinds of restrictions, right down to the details of the parts. They got to look and behave and play the game like a human for them to play. So I predict the first sport to have an android athlete will be the Nippon Professional Baseball League. And I think Major League Baseball will follow up shortly after because Americans are usually, they're conservative in nature and they don't try too many things. But I think Major League Baseball, it wants to modernize, and I think they'll follow. It'll be the two major baseball leagues in Japan and then in America that will have the first Android athletes. I believe it will start as an all-star game experiment, and I will predict in 2035 will mark the first time an all-robots team defeats the all-star human team for that league. 2035. I predict AI will be doing commentary by 2028, and by 2030 it will be doing most of the commentary. And most humans IRL will be dead by then too. It will not be a war. It will be a prolonged training exercise that will shut down all major cities because of androids going out of control. Then society will remain this way forever, and survivors will be happier. Also, do Japanese people find it funny that Americans don't know the name of their country? Nihon? Comment below. Isn't that weird that it's called Japan? There's a long history. It has to do with a translation through the Asian continent and multiple mistranslations. It's actually weird why Japan's called Japan. Back to the Syndicate here, and let's go over the best Syndicate members to have that you want to level up. Okay, so in general, intervention is only good for leveling scarabs. Okay, this department here, pretty much anyone you put in this area is going to give you scarabs, which I don't even know how to spend my scarabs. So that's why I consider it useless. So that's why, yeah, they all do this, and I don't even care what they do because it's nothing special. Scarab's a scarab, whoop-de-doo. Okay, you can target certain scarabs if you want, but not a big deal, in my opinion. The goal is to keep it as empty as possible while filling up the other 3 divisions. These are the 5 best members, in my opinion, and they're good in multiple departments. So the best one to have, I would say, is Aisling. I don't know if that's pronounced right, but she offers veiled and double veiled items and good in all 3 of these divisions. Actually, every one of the ones that are top tier are going to be good in these 3 divisions. I'm not going to repeat that part. They all have some sort of useful benefit. The next best one I'd say is Hillock. He offers influenced items, currencies, and eldritches. Guff provides currency and good rares. Riker is good for uniques. Okay, good on all 3 of these. Some type of unique benefit. Okay, Tora's not in here right now, but Tora is good for gems and gem reagents like gem cutter prisms. So those are always handy. You can't go wrong with those. And again, all 5 of these, Aisling, Hillock, Guff, Riker, and Tora, all great. You always want to have the max level. All of them work at all 3 divisions. You can't go wrong. If they shift around, whoop-de-doo, you still win. Okay. Other good members that are good in 2 divisions. Korell is good for essences and good in fortification and research. Okay, not so useful in transportation. Leo is good for corrupted uniques. Same thing, good in fortification and research. Jorgin has delve items and useful in fortification and research. Haku is good in transportation and research, and specializes in strong boxes and a crafting bench. And then finally, Vorici is good in fortification and has an ability to craft 6 linked items. If you have 5 favorites and there's only 3 of them that are, the key is to have the 5 favorites basically in these 3 safe houses, and then your next best ones, the second best 5 that I listed, which is Korell, Leo, Jorgin, Haku, and Vorici. You want them to fill in the 2 spots that they're good in. Okay, the description will actually have a breakdown of the cheat sheet I use, the super fast cheat sheet I use for playing Syndicate on the names you're looking for. So that's basically 10 names to look for. Anyone else, if you're going to include them, look at the link in the description and ask yourself, is there anyone else that wasn't mentioned here that's good for my particular build and the content I'm doing? So just add them to it, and maybe take note of where they're good. Aside from specifically useful members that you are using for your current game, you'll want to have these 10 prioritized. So let's see what Guff has here. Again, Guff is on my must-have, must be rank 3. I don't want to do anything here, so I'm just going to execute, okay? So now Guff's in the transportation department here. Got some more veiled items. I'm going to get my buffs ready because we've got to do some fights here. Now Gravicus, do you remember me talking about Gravicus? No. Now, I don't want him to be trusted with Hillock because I really don't care what happens to Gravicus. Hillock's going to be in a good spot. I don't want Gravicus in the same spot of Hillock. So by that logic, he gets interrogated. Okay, that's the secondary priority of things. Okay, now we mentioning that one of the safe houses is already unlocked. Okay, let's go over here, and we're going to show you how to do the Syndicate laboratory. Hopefully, I don't die here. Basically, the idea is to run to the back of it as fast as you can and not die. Since this is probably the more challenging one, I'm going to grab myself one of these here and not hopefully be less likely to die. So you'll see what I do here. I just run as fast as I can. I'm not even really looking at, I'm looking at the mini map when I do this. Okay, I'm just, oops, that's a dead end. Okay, and I'm trying not to die, and I'm going as fast as I can to get to the back room here. Okay, now I'm in the back room, and I will engage in combat, get my buffs ready here, and hopefully not die here. Get a couple of people to interrogate. There we got one. Hopefully we can stun lock this guy. This map might have stun immunity. Well, we gotta hurry up. Just too slow. Okay, whatever. That's the point though. You saw how I just ran past things? I've tried killing the rare monsters, and they're just too fast, and the maze makes it too slow. It's my opinion, it's better just to run to the back of it like this. I'll sometimes, actually I usually get 2 of them to interrogate. That wasn't the best example. I'll sometimes get 3, but we got 1 here. Now, Chimeria is not considered terribly important. So I'm basically going to interrogate. Okay, again, not an important key member, not on the cheat sheet. That's the priority. That's what happens. We want intelligence. Okay. And I actually don't even care where the intelligence is so much here. Okay. So we've done all the syndicate here. I'm just going to clear this map here. I'm just going to basically run to the boss here. Okay, so I'll kill the boss here, and I will... Normally you want to clear a bit more than that, but you know what? I got to... Oh my god, see, that is not good. That is very rippy. So we just did some things here. Here's an example of some loot I just found here. So I found these gloves here. This is one of the reasons you do it. So you unveil it here. It used to be that when you did this, you learned a crafting recipe. So if you actually haven't played Path of Exile, this has changed. Now the only way you can get these mods is to unveil them. Basically you get the recipe other means on the crafting bench, but it's like the tier 2 version of it, and tier 2 meaning the not as good version of it on the bench. But when you unveil this way, it's like you get the best version of it, but you don't need to learn them this way. Okay, so basically you pick one of the unveiled options here. So these are gloves. I'd say for my class, a bit of extra life can't go wrong, and I could actually use the mana regen. So I don't know if I would use these gloves, but hey, they're not bad. It's not bad for my class. Here's another one here. See, this has some increased physical damage. Maybe you can get another physical damage stacked up, and you can get 200 physical damage this way. Nothing too great, but still, that's how it works. It's rolling the dice for some, basically a tier 1, a modifier, which if you get the right items on could be game breaking, right? So it's definitely a way to get elite items. I'll just do that. I'm not, that item's kind of crappy for me. I'll be honest, I'm just going to sell these here. These are not terribly useful. All right, we're going to do one more map here, and we'll have a look at some other items that drop. Let's see if we can get another safe house unlocked. Is there a syndicate in this? Oh, I don't, there's none spawned yet. Oh, there we go. So we found a syndicate. Okay, we'll do another one of these here. I'm going to do this with a bit of rage built up this time. I'll do that. So yeah, I race to... Oops. I run through the building as fast as I can. I'm looking at the mini map. Okay. And then I get into the room. I buff up. And then I basically try to kill all these guys here. Let's see if we can get it. No, well, only got one again. Okay, now, is Leo a tier 1? No, but Leo is a good member, okay? And Leo works in fortification and research. So let's see where Leo is. They're in research. I like this. Let's do bargain, okay? So we got a bit more research intelligence. Maybe we'll unlock one of these safe houses and one of these next two maps. If not, I'm just going to do the intervention one. And that's that. Okay, so that's another example of an encounter you can have with the Syndicate. This is a favored map, by the way. I'm now using, I like the beach map. It's nice and open. I don't get stuck on many things. I find that some maps you get stuck on, and like when you have too many things going at once, you don't notice it and it can get you killed, right? So I like the open maps for safety reasons. You shouldn't drink coffee while you're playing in a map unless your build is solid. Okay, I see on the map up there we have one more syndicate. Let's see what options. Okay, we got the map. Okay, so this one here, I'm never generally too worried about getting into the middle of it. I like just having the members outside of it is, well, I like to break one door, right? Have them get out and see if I can get them all stacked up and killed. Okay, we'll do that. And break the healing totems here. Okay, that makes it a little easier. Go into one of the doors, break the healing totem, and then go in and kill them as fast as you can. So you'll notice they're getting tough, eh? You'll when they're level 3 like this, they are not as easy to kill as... Okay, we only got one of them because I've juiced them quite a bit. Let's see if this can unlock something here. Actually, you'll notice too, the intervention lost some intelligence here. I want the fortification intelligence here. Okay, let's do one more map here and see if we can get ourselves a safe house. Because now the safe house is no longer unlocked. So you can't cheat the system by having one ready to go because it seems to take away intelligence points from it while it's available. So they can become available, then they can become unavailable, is what we learned here. Okay, let's do one more map here and see if we can unlock a safe house. Okay, there we go. There's a spawn. Now we've seen every type of syndicate encounter. I've got some sort of buff on me here that makes me extra strong. So we'll see if we can get Vorici in as well. There we go. We got Vorici. So that one was just a spawn. And I'm going to exit this map here once we get... this should unlock a safe house. Let's see the options with Jorgin here. I'm going to ignore the Jorgin option for now, because we'll see if that changes based on what I do with Vorici here. Again, Vorici's only good in fortification, okay? And where's Vorici now? In intervention. We buffed one at the expense of another. Now here, Jorgin is nowhere. Let's just take some veiled items here, because we're going to do the safe house now. See, look at all the veiled items I got here, because I have points in it. Now we've unlocked the safe house. I'm going to do the safe house now, just so you see what it's like, and not kill the boss on this map here. Okay, so we've unlocked the safe house. Let's do one of the safe house just so I can show you how that works now too. Then you show the investigation, and then you click the safe house button. So there we go. So before we do the safe house encounter, it's important to have a good belt on. It's always good to have a good belt on. So what you do is you get yourself a unique belt. Okay, and then once you get nothing at all, you go into the safe house. We get what we get, right? Happy little accident. This is the joy of video gaming. We got ourselves a safe house, and this is what it looks like. It's very short. Is this tougher than the other maps? That's not much different than a beach map. Getting there, I would say, is not really much of a challenge. The intervention one is just a bunch of scarabs, so at least we'll see something that's not scarabs here. I think it was worth doing something slightly different. If I had all day to min-max, and that's another thing too, you don't want to spend forever being perfect at setting up your syndicate setups, because opportunity cost. Every minute you waste being perfect is costing you in some other way. Okay, so we're clearing our way to the safe house here. Once you get to the safe house, it can be a little bit more challenging. Okay, because we do have at least one rank 3 member who's going to be a little bit difficult to beat. So keep that in mind. Korell is going to be the most challenging one. We've cleared our way up, and now we're in the safe house here. And we fight who the leader of the safe, or who's there, okay? So we got Tora. I think it might be somewhat random. Oh, there we go. We got Korell. There's rank 3 Korell, very nasty. This isn't super easy. Again, most important thing is develop a good build, and you can do all kinds of random things. Okay, so now we have an option here with Tora. I guess we got to execute Tora, and we'll get something, and Korell goes in. After you do that, we'll go, there's the 5 rooms to look at. Now, this isn't exactly the best layout. I think we only got 1 or 2 here that has anything of any use. So one of them here is this stash here. Okay, so we get a start. Here's one thing that can happen. This is the trap stash. One of the members that you saw enable this. So this is, again, it's a variety of items you can get doing Syndicate. So let's just see what we can get. We got 10 seconds. I'm definitely not taking... Ooh, that's a good one. I'll take that. I'm not going to look at the other ones. Carrion Golem of Hordes. There you go. That's one of them. I just grabbed it fast. I didn't have enough time to read them all, okay? So that's one of the games you can play. Another one here. Oh, so we have some more trap stash. See if we get some better options. No. All these suck. I don't even care if I lose them all. Take the belt. If you get all the things set up correctly, there can be different rooms in here. There's other rooms that can spawn. And basically, this is where you get your rewards. The more you do it, the better you'll get at it. Just keep in mind of the list in the description of, the key members you want to keep around and those that aren't there. And that's kind of the core of it, is essentially ensuring that you have high probability of good members in the right spot with enough rank to give you good rewards and get them into the leader position. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode on the Immortal Syndicate. Leave a comment, other suggestions for other content to cover. I do some research on this. Both inside and outside the game to see how things work. And I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I will see you next week.